Just a couple of days ago, February 13th, 2022, many Americans and some people from around the globe were gathered around their TV watching the Super Bowl. Now, if you're anything like me, I like to watch the Super Bowl mainly for the commercials. And so we're like, ooh, what are going to be the commercials this year? And there's one commercial that has the internet all abuzz, and it's this bouncing QR code. And so we're here today in this video to talk about what is this QR code commercial all about from the Super Bowl. Hi, my name is Tiffanie. I am the author of Socks to Success. It talks about having a brand that helps you be memorable. Because if you're more memorable, that's going to help you get more prospects into clients and more referrals. And this is going to come into play, this whole idea of being memorable, in a few moments. So we want to talk about QR codes, the commercial, the Super Bowl. Was it a good idea? All of that. Now, there's a few things we're going to cover in this video. So in the description below, I have all of the different topics that we're going to talk about. What is a QR code and how does it work? What does QR even stand for? What's the history of a QR code? What did people think of the QR code ad? What was the worst Super Bowl commercial? And was it this one that we're talking about right now? Let me think about that. What do people think of the QR code ad? Who is your target market? Are QR codes safe? So what is a QR code and how does it work? So I printed off this QR code, though you can certainly as well use QR codes on your electronic devices. So it could be on your TV, could be on your computer, or a piece of paper. You take your phone, open it to the photograph. Hey, look, there's me. Where am I at? Trying to be near. Oh, there I am. So here's me. Looking at me. Anyway, so we're going to take our phone and let's see if I can do this technology. Yeah, there we go. So it's a little hard to see, but I put it up here and then I get a website QR code. And so what it's doing on my phone is going directly to the website. So this is if you want to enroll in my 5-day referral challenge. Here's the QR code. But if you want to enroll in the 5-day referral challenge, now it took you straight to that page. So you're not having to try and write down the link or type the link in, figure out where you're going. It makes it super easy to get there. And that actually leads me to what does QR even stand for? Because confession, I didn't know till this morning as I was prepping for today's video that I was going to even ask this question or answer this question. So QR stands for quick response. What is the history of QR codes? They actually started in 1994 is the earliest that I found, and they were used in manufacturing. In the 2000s, we started to see more and more on business cards, on brochures, on the printed material so that people could take a picture and get additional information. Instead of putting, all this stuff crammed on the back of a business card, here's a QR code, please go to the website. Probably saw the rise of them, at least in the promotional products world, back when we still had our promotional products company. And late 2000s, early 2010s, teens, whoa, yeah, whichever one that is. And we were seeing a lot of promotional products with the QR codes, but as the 2000 teens wore on, they were going away pretty consistently until we got to the point where outdated technology. And then March of 2020 hit. And if you can't remember what happened March of 2020, where have you been for the past 23 months? So the world went into lockdown, at least in the US. It was earlier than that in some other countries. And all of a sudden, QR codes created and came back. And all of a sudden, there was this resurgence of QR codes. You would see them in people's Zoom background, like, hey, if you want more information, here you go. You would see them on TV shows, on social media. It was a way for people to easily engage and share information about their business. So the QR codes came back in a way I certainly wasn't expecting. And we've been seeing more and more of them, at least in 2022. A lot of people are talking about the bouncing QR code being the worst Super Bowl commercial, whether that's of all time or just 2022. It's like, really? And you're going to see some fun responses to this question in just a minute of what people were thinking. It was the Coinbase Super Bowl ad. Most people didn't know it was the Coinbase Super Bowl ad because it was just a QR code. And so when I went online and started asking people, what did you think about this QR code Commercial. I got some fun responses. Chris and Kim both said stupid. Like back to back. There you go. Nope. Next. Now, Shane said it was outdated. Hashtag no QR codes. Yeah, I get it. They went out of style. And Jenny shared, I know what they were up to, but didn't get off the couch to click it. That technology is outdated, honestly. Again, so some people are looking at the technology as it's outdated, which I agree. In 2019, I would have said done with the QR codes, no more. Though, here they come back. Now, Devin said, so weird, and it took us forever to figure out to scan it. Hashtag old. And the funny thing is, Devin is not old. She's younger than I am. Though maybe it's more of a middle-aged type of technology between, the I'm 43, 50s or late 35. And this goes to your target market of who are you trying to reach. So we're going to come back to that in just a moment. Danielle shared, took me a minute to realize it wasn't a screensaver, and then I didn't get my phone out in time. Yeah, I totally get it. Heck, Stephanie was even like, waste of my money. Sheila had a similar thought. It's like they spent all their money on the commercial slot and had no money left for production. Yep. Again, totally get it. It was very basic. I was like, man, they spent a ton of money on the production, because I bet you some of those companies spend millions of dollars for the production of the commercial, not including what they're paying to run it, but just in the production. I think David really hit it on the head with his comment. Entertaining as the other commercials? Nope. Was it effective at what a commercial is supposed to do? 1,000% yes. They did an amazing job capturing the audience. So it was effective. And to me, part of it being effective was it was a change. Most commercials have people talking or music. There's interaction going on. This very much was like a screensaver. And it was like, wait, what's going on over there? And so it broke the habit that people were in, and it changed us looking. Plus, it made us like, stop, pull this out, and use the QR code for the people that knew what it was and wanted to. Mickey shared, when I saw it, I said to my wife, this is either sheer genius or somebody is getting fired tomorrow. Yeah, we're going to come back to which one probably happened. But Tina said, I bet they got a lot of clicks. And that would be my guess. They probably got a ton of clicks. Kevin shared, very effective marketing. Millions of people got up to scan the code, crashed the website on and off for hours. Begin shared they received so many clicks they had to stop accepting. And they prepared for that with a couple of great emails. This gave $15 of Bitcoin. It was clever and surpassed their goals. And Brooke, she had a little bit to share here, though. I think there's value in looking at it from this perspective. They crashed the Coinbase site. They were giving away 3 million in Bitcoin. The only way to enter was to sign up. They acquired millions of new clients on Sunday with 20 million scans into their site within 1 minute of the QR code going up. I'd say it's the most successful advertisement in the history of Everdom. And if you hated it and are still talking about it 3 days later, you're furthering the interest in the site and crypto by giving them free advertising. My guess is they got way more than any company ever has, at least an immediate response. And the fact that people are talking about it and still talking about it and still talking about it. And I have a feeling this is going to be one of those commercials that gets talked about for a very long time. I know sometimes they get talked about for a year or a couple of weeks or a couple months. This one I think is going to be talked about for quite a bit. Now, here's the thing. For some of you that detested this QR code bouncing commercial, for some of you that are like, I don't get it, my guess is you're not Coinbase's target market. In the household where I was watching the football game, there were 4 of us. Of the 4 of us, 2 grabbed the phone to look and see what it was all about. Now, I didn't grab the phone because my husband was doing it, and it works out because my husband's really into crypto. In our household, like, he's the crypto guy, and he's dragging me along. And I'm okay with that. He's getting me there. He's getting me mine and doing all the stuff. But I really think that for the people that are crypto, they're probably the ones that are interested in using the QR codes too. So it's this idea of who's your ideal client. What works for your brand? How do you stand out? And it doesn't speak to everybody. Part of the basis of the Socks for Success, where we talk about, how to create your brand, is when you see me in person. When I'm doing a speaking engagement on stage, you will see me in my cute little outfit and socks. It is not for everybody. There's some people that look at me like, ooh, she's weird. And it's not a good fit. And what I say is that's okay. If my socks is a little too much to overcome, I may not be the right person for you. Coinbase is saying if QR codes aren't your thing, you know what? Fine, I get it. Now, the last question that I had a lot of responses on the Facebook page about is about it being safe. I know that anytime we get a link and we go somewhere on our phone or on our computer, we run the risk. Anytime we download something, anytime we click on a QR code, there is a risk. However, I felt pretty secure that being on Peacock during the Super Bowl for 60 seconds, because it took me 30 seconds to pay attention, that it was probably safe. I don't recommend necessarily clicking on all QR codes, just like you don't click on all links or download or accept all friend requests. You know how that goes. However, I think in this situation, it was okay. People that don't feel safe clicking on QR codes, they're worried about the virus, they don't trust the source. I get that. However, they're probably not the people that are buying crypto. So it is again about that target market. When it comes to Coinbase's crypto bouncing QR code, I give it 2 thumbs up for the commercial. Not necessarily from I really enjoyed the commercial, because I didn't, it was boring. However, I give it 2 thumbs up because I think it was a brilliant marketing strategy. People were able to get there, they got people signed up. They had way more response than anybody else. And to me, you're going to pay 14 million or whatever it was they paid for an advertisement. Don't you want the results? So they got the results from the right people that would be a good fit. I'd be interesting to see if I quizzed folks on this whole idea of would you use QR codes? If they said no, would you use crypto? They would also say no. I'd love to hear in the comments below. Please let me know. What did you think? Love the commercial? Not so much. Was it successful? Not so much. Answer the question of do you use QR codes? Do you do crypto? And while you're down there, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel to get more. This is on a playlist talking about branding your business, because commercials can be a great way to brand your business. We talk about it in Socks to Success. I'll include it down there the link to get your free copy of Socks to Success and the QR code here on the screen. So if you're watching this on your computer or your TV, you can grab your phone, put the QR code in, go straight there and get the download. So you can get the quick response, get the content. Happy networking, y'all.